Hello everyone, big news! I have a new backpack! Yay! Now I know what you're thinking, Christianne, do you not already have enough backpacks? And well, yes, I do have a few. However, especially in more recent years, I have been noticing that budget airlines more and more will only allow you to take a personal item, as in a bag that fits underneath the seat in front of you, if you want the cheapest airfare. And of course I want the cheapest airfare. I am very privileged to live in London. It means that I can very easily catch flights from Stansted with Ryanair or flights from Luton with Wizz Air. And they're so cheap. You can get to places in Europe for like £10. But God forbid you want to bring anything other than a personal item. You could be paying like an extra 30 quid just one way to bring a cabin bag, or an extra 40 quid to bring a checked-in bag. And then if you want to bring it back, that's doubled again. And I know even with those extra prices, it probably is still quite an affordable flight. There's something that just doesn't sit right about me with having to pay extra for my luggage. And so what am I going to do? I'm just going to travel with a personal item and I'm going to make do with that. But if I'm going to do that, I need a very, very efficient piece of luggage that is going to allow me to bring all the things that I would want to have on a backpacking trip in a minimal but functional fashion. So without further ado, the backpack that I have chosen to undergo this very challenging but very important task to lead me through all my travels in the future is this is the Cotopaxi Allpa travel pack in 28 litres. Oh yes, baby, by far the smallest backpack that I have ever had. I'm going to show you all the features of this backpack throughout this video and tell you exactly why this is the one that I have chosen. But as well as a trusty backpack, there is something that I always have to travel with, which luckily doesn't take up any space at all. And thankfully, they are the sponsors of today's video. And that thing that I am talking about are Surfshark. Now, Surfshark are a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. It is a software that lives on all of my devices, and I will never travel without it because of all its benefits. So the first big benefit, especially when you're traveling, is that a VPN can change the virtual location of your device to pretty much anywhere in the world. So what that means is that when I'm traveling and I want to watch my beloved Love Island or whatever show that I'm watching at the time, when you get to the new country, if you don't have a VPN, your device will just say, sorry, this media is not available in this country. You can't watch it. However, with the click of a button, I can scroll back to the UK to make it seem as if that was where I am right now, and that media or service is instantly available to me. You can do this with almost any country in the world if there was a show on American Netflix that you wanted to watch. And what Surfshark also does is it turns a public Wi-Fi connection into a private one. Why is that useful? So say you're in a cafe or an airport or even a hostel, for example, when you're traveling or when you're at home and you connect to their public Wi-Fi network. You've not had to put in a password or anything. You just say, yes, I accept the terms and conditions and connect, and oh, isn't this lovely? No, because if you are not connected to a VPN at that point, you have just given potential hackers the ability to get into your device and steal your information via that public Wi-Fi connection. However, when you have your Surfshark switched on with the click of a button, it makes your connection private, and so none of those evil hackers can get in, which is just absolutely essential in this day and age. Now, Surfshark are one of the only VPNs which gives you access on an unlimited number of your devices with just the one account. So you can use it on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, and Surfshark are giving you guys a massive discount where you can get an extra 4 months for free when you use my code backpacking or clicking the link in the description. So the Cotopaxi Allpa travel pack 28 litres. I'm going to start with the inside features of this backpack. Now, we all know, if you've been watching for a while, that my favourite style of backpack is the one that opens out like a clamshell style suitcase, which is exactly what this backpack does. So we have two sides, both with mesh zippered compartments, and actually it feels like this one has kind of inbuilt packing cubes. So over on this side you have the big compartment, so it just opens up all the way around, and I think that this is where I will be putting all of my clothes, my tops, my bottoms, my dresses, my play suits, and my underwear. And honestly, apart from my underwear, I don't think I would separate those things into further packing cubes. I feel like it would be more efficient for me just to roll up those clothes and put them straight into this compartment, but we'll see how we go when we do actually pack the bag in a future video. And then on this side, it's separated into two sections. The bottom section is slightly bigger, and I think this would be a really good compartment for shoes and miscellaneous items. So I'm thinking my towel, my foldable backpack, maybe even even my mask and snorkel if I'm bringing that on the trip as well. And the last compartment inside here is the smallest one, and I think that this would be a really good space for my toiletries. Obviously, if you are flying carry-on only, you can only bring liquids of up to 100 mils anyway, and so I would have to reduce the number of liquids that I could bring anyway. I feel like that's a really good compartment for that and my contact lenses and things. Then closing the main compartment up, we're going to move on to some of the other compartments. On the top at the front here, we have like an outside super accessible compartment, and in here, how deep is it? It goes down to about here, but folding this down, we have another zippered compartment in here. So I think this whole space I would probably reserve for my electronics. If you know me, you will know that I usually travel with a main pack and then my electronics backpack. However, if I'm only going with a personal item, I can't have those two bags. And so all of the things that are normally in my electronics backpack, one, I'm gonna need to minimize a lot, but the things that I do bring, so basically just like all of my chargers and cables, if I'm bringing a small camera or microphone, that would go into this zippered pocket here and just the general big pocket. And this actually feels quite roomy in here. I know if you were to obviously fill all of the other spots in the backpack that this wouldn't feel quite so roomy, but like right now, it's feeling pretty roomy. It also has a little clip so that you don't use your keys, and actually that's very useful as well. On the side here, you might be able to see like a turquoise zipper, and in here we have a rain cover, an inbuilt rain cover for the whole backpack. Now the backpack itself actually does feel a bit water resistant. It's kind of got that plasticky feeling to it, which is nice. But if you were caught in a downpour, I don't think that material is going to be enough. So they literally have this inbuilt rain cover for the whole pack to make sure that none of your things are getting wet. I just think that's absolutely essential in a backpack. That's something that I always look for. There are some backpacks, Osprey, I'm looking at you, which hardly ever include these kind of rain covers, and it means that you have to buy one separately. It means you have to find a space in the backpack in order to put it. It means that you've got to find one that is like the exact perfect size for your backpack, and it's just a bit of a hassle. I just really, really like when the rain covers are included and there's like a dedicated space for it. So I'm just going to roll that back up and put it back inside that pocket that it came in. Now on the other side of the backpack, we have a larger zip for an entire laptop sleeve, and it even has a padded section as well. So if you wanted, you could stick in here like your laptop and your iPad. I feel like because I'm going to be wanting to be minimal when going on trips using this backpack, I probably won't bring my laptop and my iPad, because I'm also aware that using this space would dig into the other space in your backpack. I think it's going to be very interesting when I do actually try to pack it. But I love that it has a specific laptop compartment. It's really padded. I feel like my laptop would be really protected in there. So that is all the zippered pockets. Now I'll show you some of the details. All of the zips allow you push it through that little hole and go like, it's a little bit finicky, but you do that, and it basically means that no one can just easily open your backpack. I'll do this one as well. You just push it behind the flap. You just bring them down here and then tuck them underneath the flap. And although it's a bit finicky, and I don't think I would be doing this every single time that I like packed my bag, I do just think that that is really smart, and it's nice to know that someone can't just so easily open your backpack. It's a very simple design that I think is very, very effective. Now the front of the backpack itself is very, very simple, and I do like how sleek it is. I think I'm used to backpacks where there's just like a lot going on here, and although it is useful, it does look a bit scruffy, whereas Cotopaxi's gone for just a much more minimal and sleek design. But what they do have on every single corner, they just have these hooks, which are really, really handy, and I think I'm just going to be having some carabiners hanging off of these hooks, so that if I wanted to dry anything out, or like my hiking shoes, for example, if I didn't want to wear those on a travel day, I could just attach them to the outside of my backpack, which I think is going to be really useful, especially as the backpack itself is not huge. But obviously when I'm actually traveling on the airplane, I'm not going to have anything attached to these outsides. Like, you know, if I've got my hiking boots, I'll be wearing those on my feet. If I have a jumper, I'll have that round my waist, or I'll have that round my shoulders. As for the back, this is super, super padded. It has all the straps that you would possibly need. It has some nice big shoulder straps, and it has a sternum strap to make that more secure. You've also got your waist belt here. The waist belt itself is not very padded, as you can see. However, because it's just a 28-litre backpack, this is only ever going to be so heavy, and so I don't think that having padded waist straps is important, which is fine. And the cool thing is that you can tuck all of these straps away so that it then becomes like a duffel bag. So let's do that now. I just love how neat and sleek that then makes the whole backpack. And there's actually 4 grab handles. Let me move back. There's actually 4 grab handles, one on the top, one on each side, and one on the bottom. So if you are carrying it in this way, kind of as a duffel, that is actually just such a nice feature to make it so slick. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be tucking my straps away that often though. I will always be wanting to wear it as a backpack. The waist straps, maybe, depending on how heavy it is, and maybe I'll tuck those away and won't feel the need for them so much. But the fact that you can tuck it all away, I just think is really, really nice. As for the colorway that I went for, this backpack came in several colors, and they actually have what they call a Del Dia colorway, whereby the whole backpack is made from upcycled materials, and each one is unique, and it's all like all these funky different colors, and I was so tempted to get one of those. However, I just wasn't quite on board with the colorway. I'm a bit picky with my colors, and especially as I'm traveling more minimal, that also means that I'm being more minimal and neutral with my colors as well, of everything, my clothes and my accessories, because neutral colors are just so easy to pair with each other, and everything's just going to look slick and put together, kind of whatever you're wearing and wherever you're going. And that is why I went for this very neutral color. And to be fair, I thought this was going to be a lot creamer than it actually is. On the website it looked like a lovely light cream, and in person it feels almost slightly green, like a very muted, subtle khaki-ish green. But I still like it because I still think that it's like neutral, and I am happy with my decision. I think I paid about £170 for this, so it really was a bit of an investment, but I really feel like I'm going to be using this a lot now that I have it. It's going to encourage me to be more minimal with my packing, and I'm also going to save a lot of money on baggage, which if we girl math that out, that basically means that by the end of the year, this backpack is free. Yeah. The first trip that I'm going to be taking this on is my solo backpacking trip to Georgia, which I will be going on for a month. I'm flying there with a couple of airlines. Both of them are budget. Both of them I can only bring a personal item, and I have like a self-transfer as well, so it's obviously nice that I won't have to collect my bag from baggage claim and then recheck it in at the same airport. I'm also going to be taking just this bag to Australia with me at the end of the year. I'm going to do about 3 weeks to a month in Australia. And the thing is, flights to Australia around Christmas time or December are ridiculously extortionate, because obviously everyone wants to go like see their families in Australia, at least that's the case for me. So they really jack up the prices, and I was like, I do not want to pay £3 for a return flight to Australia. So I have booked myself like it's actually not ridiculously long, but I'm flying Ryanair to Athens and then Scoot, which is Singapore's budget airline, all the way from Athens to Singapore, and then Scoot again from Singapore to London. And I think Scoot, you are allowed to bring like a cabin bag as well as a personal item, not a checked-in bag, but obviously Ryanair you can't. And I did not want to pay any more money than I had to get to Australia, so I think I got this entire flight there for like 450 quid, and it's all good. I am just going with a personal item. Obviously I'm gonna like have to keep myself entertained on those flights. There's not going to be any TV. I'm gonna have to bring some food because they're not going to be serving any food. It's going to be quite the humbling experience, but I genuinely think it'll be worth it for the money that I'm saving. But yeah, I think this backpack is really going to change the game for me. I'm really excited to use it. Now some of you may be wondering, oh, will I bring a bum bag as well? And the answer is yes. So I have found any time that I've flown with Ryanair or Wizz Air, I can get away with bringing a personal item which goes underneath the seat in front of you, and also a bum bag which just like stays on my front the whole time. And I won't overfill that bum bag, but like all of my smallest items like my phone, my wallet, my camera, tissues, basic stuff is just going to go in that bum bag. So this will be accompanied with a bum bag, if that was one of your questions. I will make a packing video when I go to Georgia, so you can see how I'm packing this, what I'm packing into it, and if you think that that's even going to be possible. I know some of you are minimal experts, but for me this is by far the most minimal that I will ever have travelled, so it's going to be a challenge, but it's an exciting one. But because this is so exciting, I did want to make a whole video on just showing you the backpack itself. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.